Hi, this is Jelyn from the Honors Tutorial. Our topic for today is about domain and range of a function. This is under General Mathematics. Let's have our direction first. So we will be guided. Determine the domain and range of each of the following functions. For number 1, we have here 5x minus y equals 7. So let's solve first for the domain. Let's have here 5x minus y equals 7. For us to determine the domain for this, we should have y at the left side of the equation alone. So therefore, we have here negative y equals 7. Then we have to transpose positive 5x at the right side of the equation. So therefore, we have here minus 5x. And then, as you can see here, our y is a negative. So we don't want negative y. So therefore, we will multiply both sides by negative 1. So negative 1 at the left and negative 1 at the right side of the equation. So negative 1 times negative y, that is positive y, equals 7 times negative 1. So that is negative 7. Negative 5x times negative 1. So that is positive 5x. So we have here the value of y. As you can see here, y is a polynomial. So therefore, we can easily determine our domain here. So if your value of y is a polynomial, automatically your domain should be D, or the domain is equal to the set of all x such that x is an element of a real number. And that's it. That is for the domain. Again, if your value of y is a polynomial, automatically your domain should be written like this. Next, let's have the range for number 1. I will rewrite the given, which is positive 5x or 5x minus y equals 7. Now we should have x at the left side of the equation, so I will write 5x here equals 7. Then let's transpose negative y at the right side of the equation. Then it will become plus y. As you can see in here, we have here a number beside x. We don't want that, so therefore we have to divide both sides by the number beside it, which is 5. So cancel this. We have here x equals 7 plus y over 5. And that's it. Since in our denominator, we only have a number, then we don't have a restriction for this. If you don't have any restriction, so your range is equal to, let me just rewrite it on top or here. Here. Let's try here. So range is equal to the set of all y such that y is an element of a real number. And that's it. That's the answer for the range. Next, let us have number 2. For number 2, we have here y equals x squared minus 25. We can easily determine our domain here because this is a polynomial already. So therefore, your domain is equal to the set of all x such that x is an element of a real number. Next, what we are going to do now is to solve for the range. Let me just copy the given first. So we have here y equals x squared minus 25. So in order for us to solve for the range, we have to have our x at the left side of the equation. So we will write it. So we have here negative x squared equals transpose positive y at the right side of the equation. So that is negative y minus 25. And then for us to get a positive x squared, we have to multiply both sides by negative 1. So negative x squared times negative 1 is positive x squared equals, let's multiply again negative 1 times negative y. So that's negative y times negative 1 is positive y. Negative 25 times negative 1 is positive 25. But we are not yet done solving for x because we have here our exponent, which is 2. So therefore, you have to get the square root of x squared and get the square root of y plus 25. So cancel. X is now equal to positive negative square root of y plus 25. We should have our restriction here. For us to get that, let's equate y plus 25, and then it will become greater than or equal to 0. Let's transpose positive 25 at the right side of the equation. So that's y is greater than or equal to negative 25. And that's it. This is our restriction. So how are we going to use it? For our range, it will become range is equal to the set of y such that y is greater than or equal to negative 25. Why do we need our restriction? It is for us to avoid an, an imaginary answer for this equation in our radicand. Because if we use numbers that is less than to negative 25 like this, which is negative, let's say negative 26, the square root of negative 26 plus 25, then your answer will be negative 1. So if you have here the square root of negative 1, remember that it will become an imaginary number. So therefore, we should have our restriction here. Next, let us have our last example. So that is number 3. Let's solve first for the domain for number 3. Let's have first the given. So we have here 5y minus xy equals 6. So this is what you are going to do first before transposing any numbers. Um, Kindly factor out y. So we will write y at the left side of our parenthesis or outside the parenthesis. So that is y times 5 minus x equals 6. And then what we want in our equation is this. We should have y at the left side of the equation alone. So therefore, kindly divide both sides of the equation by 5 minus x. so that we can meet our goal to have y at the left side of the equation alone. Let's cancel this. So now y is equal to 6 over 5 minus x. We should have our restriction here. It is because we have here our x, the variable, in our denominator. So therefore, we should avoid any number or any value of x that will make the equation undefined. So how are we going to do that? We have to equate 5 minus x, which is the denominator, to 0. So we have here 5 minus x equals 0. So we have here negative x at the left side of the equation, and then transpose positive 5 at the right side of the equation. Then it will become negative 5. In order for us to make positive values at the left side of the equation, we should divide the left side by negative 1 and the right side by negative 1. So negative 1 times negative x is positive x equals negative 5 times negative 1 is positive 5. So therefore, our restriction is this. If our value is 5, then the equation should be 0 or equal to 0. So therefore, our restriction should be written like this. X is not equal to 5. When x is not equal to 5, then our denominator is not equal to 0. So therefore, domain is equal to the set of all x such that x is not equal to 5. And that's it. That is our domain. Now let's solve for the range. I will erase this in order for us to solve for the range. Letter B. Let's copy the given again. So that is 5y minus xy equals 6. Our goal here is to have x only at the left side of the equation. So therefore, let's have negative xy at the left side of the equation. And then let's have 6 here and transpose positive 5y. So we have here negative 5y. And in order for us to have x only at the left side of the equation, we should divide both sides by negative y. Cancel this and cancel the signs. So we have here negative y. So therefore, x is equal to 6 minus 5y over negative y. Again, we have here a fraction and a variable in our denominator. So therefore, we should find out or look for the numbers that will make our equation be undefined. So therefore, let's equate this negative y to 0 for us to find our restrictions. So we have here negative y equals 0. Kindly multiply both sides by negative 1 to make negative y a positive number or a positive variable. So we have here y equals 0. Y equals 0 because any number that you multiply to 0 is equal to 0. 0 times negative 1 is 0. So therefore, your y should not be equal to 0 because when this is equal to 0, automatically your answer will be undefined or your equation will be undefined. So in order for us to have the range, we will write it like this. Range is equal to the set of y such that y is not equal to 0. And that's it. This is our range. I hope that you have learned something about domain and range for today. If you have questions, or inquiries, please message us in our FB page. So that is the honors tutorial. Thank you and God bless. Bye.